Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're back over on the YouTube account. We are in 58-20, and as you can see, we have absolutely no diamonds because we have been burning through all of them trying to summon up Melure. However, we have been farming up the towers, and I want to check out the resources that we're getting out of here. So I believe at this point the towers end at 1180. I might be wrong on that, but I think around 1180 is the top when it comes to our 4 faction towers. And then, of course, 840 is where we're kind of capped in the rest of those towers, meaning that the ability to get a lot of time emblems or a lot of those Stargazer scrolls is pretty limited in there. But today marks a first, guys, looking at our Nightmare Corridor progression. That is right. We got this mythic custom mythic furniture scroll. Now, this unfortunately is the first one that we've got. Now, I really attribute to this for all of the heroes that we have been building up a little bit higher in those signature items, allowing us to really maximize the damage. Putting more furniture on some of our stronger heroes makes a big difference when it comes to the progression in here. Then, of course, we get a bait, but we get 5,000 diamonds. That is going to be awesome because that is a full pull when it comes to Stargazer trying to pick out Melure. Now, we also, the Cursed Realm, we did pretty well in here. Usually I stay around 10 to 15%, possibly some of the iterations a little bit lower, but this is also giving us another 11 Stargazer scrolls out of there, and of course, some engraving mats. Now, what I'm going to start doing is utilizing a lot more of the resources to build out some of the current heroes that we do have a little bit further. That way, again, we can kind of maximize the progression that we're making in here. Now, of course, when it comes to the leaderboard here, we ended at 63, so almost made that 50, but this is giving us 3,400 diamonds and another 9 Stargazer scrolls, as well as 5 more time emblems. So you can see how the accumulation of all of these events that are going to roll over really is going to make a big difference on the loot that we're kind of pulling out of here. Then, of course, the arena is in there, so that is a lot of loot. I mean, even there, we have 11, 9. That's 20 more cards right there. That's 2, 3, 4, what, almost 500 baits. Now, we did get these, which, of course, we're going to use our engraving mats. But I'm thinking the Master Choice chest at this point, I'm going to get poke coins with that so we can do some summons with the poke coins. Hopefully pick up that last copy of Melure so we can actually start putting all the furniture on there and then summon up 2 more copies so we can actually take her and put the engraving on there, which again, I'm going to be taking some of my heroes up a little bit further when it comes to that engraving to make sure that we're continuing to make progression with all of the heroes that we have in AFK Arena. And I feel like the investment that we're having with these heroes and the return we're seeing with these heroes is pretty good. It's a pretty solid return when we're going that avenue of actually building them out and taking them a little bit further so we can maximize the rewards in a bunch of different events. It's working. And this is the reason why we've always said since the beginning is if you're sitting on resources, so if you're just sitting here and you're just kind of sitting on resources, that is where you're going to kind of get stuck, because if you're not utilizing the resources that you're sitting on, you're going to be stuck because you could be making progression. That could be another hero that you have built, but you could be focusing on a lot of the progression and a lot of the builds if you're using the chest to make progression. Just like, again, we see in a lot of different game modes, if you're holding on to a lot of the stuff that we have in here, you're not going to be making progression as fast as you could be if you're utilizing it or really having the utility of the heroes that we currently have. Now, of course, this is kind of a double-edged sword because it's kind of a trade-off as well for where they are building them. Now, right here with our scroll, we're going to go ahead and use this one. And this one, of course, is going for Lucius. He is at 7, but that is going to go ahead and that will take him to 8 mythic furniture, meaning we need 1 more, and we already do have him engraved. And then, of course, we're going to look for Melure in here, knock out a couple summons. And, of course, we did this yesterday, guys. Now, you can see we have another 4,900, so do another summon in here. We will equip his gear that gives him, or equip his furniture. That takes him to 9. And then, of course, we only have 1 summon. Unfortunately, it's not going to be a red card. So the chances of getting him in a mythic pull are probably pretty low in here, but just a regular pull, which again is just going to give us some recycled material, but 3 more pulls, and Lucius will be maxed out to that 9 of 9 furniture. And like I had said earlier, the engraving for him is already done as well. So we just need some more poke coins. Another couple thousand poke coins will be able to actually max them out. Let's hop in the Noble Tavern. As you can see, we don't have many summons in here, but what we're looking for is right here with Melure. Again, we need 1 copy to take her up to Ascended. We need 2 copies to take her to the 1 star so we can actually build her out and get the engraving on her. Now, of course, this is a massive, massive hero when it comes to the PvP aspect. That is the reason why so many players are building out Melure. Haven't seen a lot of utility in the Cursed Realm and the Nightmare Corridor. Majority of it has just been in that PvP aspect. So we got what, 3, we got 4 pulls, just a little over 4 pulls. Should be able to get a copy, and we do right off the bat. Again, that will take Melure up to Ascended. We need 2 more copies, and we have 3, almost 4 more pulls in here to get her built out. So hopefully, maybe fingers crossed as we're farming up these cards. I would love to see some diamonds, but another copy in here would be awesome to see. 4,400, we'll go ahead and we'll do a couple singles. And like I've said before, guys, every single pull that you're doing in here is bringing you 1 pull closer to getting the next copy. It's really a positive way to look at it. I know a lot of people hate the Scam Gazer, they hate the Temple of Time, but overall, if we don't get a copy, it is what it is, because we know eventually the copy is going to pop up just like we've seen right there. And boom, there is the Ascended, which means we can actually take her into the Oak Inn, add the furniture on there as we continue to build her out. And I believe it is tower number 5. Tower number 5, these are the Celestials. So let's go ahead and drop her in here. And I want to say furniture-wise for her, we do have quite a few pieces. Now, really in this as well, utilizing some of these heroes when it comes to building them out, but using them as well within the towers. The tower progression in here is huge for where we're building them out. Now, a lot of players ask why I put them low priority. It's because most of the heroes have all their furniture, and there we go. So that gives her 5 pieces of furniture already. We already maxed out. We got that plus 30 signature item on there. So definitely in a very good spot to build her out a little bit further, which I'm happy about. I'm happy that we are seeing the progression on her. Again, just kind of the build. We'll get the furniture. We'll finish that out. We already have the plus 30 signature item. We do have some engraving mats in there, which we're going to go ahead and save for her. Now, plus 40 signature items. We were kind of going back and forth on this. Now, we took Shamira up to a 40. We are working on Leica. So Leica, remember, we're going from 32 to 38 is going to be the utilization of red chests. The 39 and 40 are going to be our special right here, the epic nature emblems or those epic chests. We're going to go ahead. We don't have enough right now in here. And then, of course, we're doing the exact same with Lucius as he sits today. So we took him to 31 with our chests right here that we took him with the epic chests. The rest of these are going to be focused on building these all the way up to 38. So we're adding 1 more in there, which, of course, is adding a ton of stats. Now, unique enough, he is working incredibly well, and he is working super, super well when it comes to building him out with Aethys. Now, of course, right here, the plus 40 is going to amplify the normal attack damage by 90%, which means the awakened version of Lucius does normal attack damage, as well as a couple other heroes like Mulan does a lot of damage and really amplifies a lot of the damage that those heroes are doing. Kind of a very, very strong utility tank that we're seeing. I'm going to build him up a little bit further, even the Magical Pierce right there, just for the fact that we are using him, again, in a couple different places. And we want to make sure that these heroes are getting built out in their entirety, because this is how we're going to make progression. And this is honestly how we're going to push through a lot of content. Like I had said earlier, when we look at building out our newer heroes, we're going to go ahead and build them out. Now, when it comes to the dimensional heroes, rumor is we're getting 2 new dimensional heroes, which could pop up right here, meaning that Albedo could be and have a lot more utility in here, but we're going to have to exactly see what is going to come with it. Continue to build out those collections is going to make a really big difference. Right down here, building those out on a regular basis, but also looking at everything else in the AFK arena and really building it out. So Riga rewards, we get a little bit of a rebate, I believe, with the Wind Messenger. We'll get a little bit, and there we go. There's the animated avatar, even though, unfortunately, I'm not going to use that one, just for the fact that we do have Lucius is already up here, which I love. And then, of course, that gives us 1 more summon in here. And it is a mythic. Could it be Lucius? It is the awakened version of Belinda. That's okay, though, because, again, we're 2 copies away to building that out. And I believe with her, we have maxed furniture right there. We have literally just been kind of going down the line and building her up with everything else. We're going to take her to the 36 of 36 furniture, just like we're seeing here with Liberta and everybody else. We're going to continue building them out. Once we get them maxed out, we're just going to swap them in for other heroes and just kind of rinse and repeat forever going forward. I mean, to the point where we're getting a lot of heroes. Even looking at Eugene right now is at Mythic Plus, and then we also are getting one copy out of the shop currently. So we are pretty close in there, which I'm going to have to save a couple more diamonds to pick up my time emblem. But out of the guild store, we're doing the exact same. This is 30, this is 45 shards, which means in the next couple days, we'll buy that extra copy, which takes him to Mythic Plus and then +1 copy, of course. And there, out of here, I've been buying out the space emblems. So as you can see right here, we bought out the space emblems. That is in anticipation of what is coming with the new Awakened Heroes. And then in here, we only have Mortis, and then I'm going all in for red chests right down here. So it's going to be another way that I can continue to just stockpile all of these red chests as we continue to make progression. But again, kind of min-maxing a lot of different heroes in a bunch of different places is working incredibly well. Now, we also do have the Mystic Star Zone, which is going to be up pretty soon. I know we do the 3 iterations when it comes to actually getting our rewards, and we max these out, which was awesome to see. Make sure if you got your ranked rewards, you came back in here and picked up the rank rewards. I know the initial time when I came in here and got everything out of here, it didn't give me the rank rewards. I didn't get them off of the bat. So unfortunately, I had to come back in here. But again, farming red chests to build up Lucius a little bit higher is going to be very important. Lover's Vow, we're at 215. So drop down a little, but again, like I said, I'm not really too concerned about that. Temporal Rift, we are stuck as of right now because we picked up that extra copy of Eugene, but we have to wait 3 more days. So pretty much waiting on a couple different things. Even the Treasure Scramble, not only did we get a bunch of resources in our box, in our mailbox, but we also got a bunch right there. But Beast Ground, that gave us another 500 baits. If you remember, we just did this yesterday, which is kind of crazy. I think we were moving them to 20, which Talisman just went to 20. So I'm going to drop Talisman out of here, and I'm just going to go back and forth. And what I'm thinking is I'm going to go back and I'm going to build a couple of the priority ones up to 20, and then we'll kind of go from there, taking some to 21, 22, so on and so forth. We already have 2 right here that we could utilize to get some more copies of, and there's a copy of the Ice Crown. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the Ice Crown Beast, pretty broken. A lot of players that are utilizing the Ice Crown, the crowd control aspect, everything that this hero actually does is pretty strong, especially when it comes to PvP. But even Panda Dumpty, we're seeing them used in a lot of different content in AFK Arena, which is really cool to see. So I'm going to continue pushing through here in the campaign. And of course, the towers, we're trying to hit that 1180 floor in there so we can get the time emblems, but we can also get those Stargazer scrolls and also accumulate some of the resources in chests out of there. So, all right, guys, so that is going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.